Hello everyone, it's Ranger Russ at the Meigs Nature Center. We're getting ready for a very special animal today. We'll see if you think it's one of your favorites after I'm done talking about it. So I like saying an animal is always a favorite. For one reason or another, it makes it a favorite. I found some things out today. I love learning something new, and I try and find something out about every animal that I talk about before the program, something new that I didn't know before. And I was able to find something really cool out about today's animal, which is going to be a little fish. You can see the little tank here. Before we do that, we need to give our reminders and our shout outs. So first of all, we are a Department of Energy and Environmental Protection facility. Connecticut state parks are open. Some of them are closed. Some parts of some of them are closed, so parts of Hammonasset, some of our parking lots are closed off. Please abide by these rules. You need to keep your social distance. You need to not go into areas that are blocked off, okay? Social distance, we're saying right now 7 skunks. So it's 7 medium-sized skunks. People always want to know, well, how big is the skunk? In this case, 7 medium skunks. It's like 3 large possums, 7 medium skunks, and I'm going to find a different animal. Maybe we'll do how many mice you need to stay away from one another. But keep those social distances. Hike the trails, get out, get some fresh air. Look at all of the wildlife that's out there, because there's some amazing things happening right now. It's springtime. Things are beginning to grow. So my challenge for you today is to go out and find something that is growing in your yard, wherever you are. Just go out and see something that's growing or something that's newly arrived, because the birds are migrating in, and soon we'll be seeing a lot more of them. So the early ones have already arrived, and then the later ones will be arriving soon. Very exciting time of year, lots of new growth, weather's getting warmer, hopefully a little nicer. It's been a little rainy here, but we'll get through all of this. So let's remind everyone too, you need to cough into your elbow. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands really well. Wear your mask. I don't have mine on right now. But these are things that are going to help not just you, but the people around you. We really don't want to carry this virus to someone else. So that's why we're taking precautions for ourselves. Okay, I'm also going to ask you, if you have questions or comments, put them up. Please put where you're from so that I know how far we're reaching, and make sure that you like us. They're on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. You can like us on YouTube now. These videos are going up on YouTube, and we're going to start putting some new content on YouTube as well. So make sure that you check out our YouTube page, and you can always go to meigspointnaturecenter.org, the virtual learning center. Oh, I've got some really cool things coming up on the virtual learning center. I don't want to give too much away, but we're going to be putting some really cool stuff up on our virtual learning center. All right, you guys ready to learn about some fish? Today we're talking about killifish. Now, everybody may have think that, oh, killifish is just a little tiny fish, it's just bait. It's a lot cooler than that. So striped killies, banded killies, and mummichogs, they're all in the same family. I don't know if you can see them, they're all in this corner over here. So these are all related, but they are different. The really fat one right here, this is a mummichog, okay? Those are much, much larger. The colorful one, and the colors probably aren't showing up on camera as well as they are here, but this guy right here, that's a male. He's got really bright colors. For the male and the striped killifish, he's got tiger stripes, okay? They're horizontal tiger stripes. The banded killies, they have vertical stripes, all right? And then the mummichogs don't have any stripes at all. So that's a general way that you can tell pretty easily the difference between those 3 species. Now, if you look really closely, you can see this one right here, the really fat one. That is a pregnant female, okay? Now, they will lay about 460 eggs. That's the tops that they can lay. 460 eggs, but they don't lay them all at once. They'll lay 10 or 12 at a time. So it could take quite a while to lay all of those eggs. They only lay their eggs when the temperature gets really warm. When the water temperature gets to be about 70 degrees, that's when they're going to lay their eggs. So if you think about that, Long Island Sound doesn't get 70 degrees very often, if at all. So that means that they have to lay their eggs up in the salt marshes where the water gets warmer. The sun heats up that water, the fish go in there, and that's where they lay their eggs, in the nice warmer water. An amazing thing about these fish is they can live in freshwater or saltwater. Many of them live in freshwater. They never visit the saltwater. A lot of them live along the coast in the salt marshes, and then they can go out into the Sound, but they're more of a salt marsh fish. So they can tolerate salt, freshwater, lots of different environments they're able to tolerate. And again, temperatures getting quite warm. For some fish, it would be really warm. But they're fine with that. Now, they only live a max of about 3 years. They average about 3 inches long, but can get up to 5 inches. And that's why they're used as bait. They're small fish, which means lots of other fish like to eat them, and they are used as bait. For many, many fishermen like to use them as bait. Now, I'm going to move the camera. I'm going to take the camera so we can try and get a closer look. And I think I hit the button. All right, so let's get a closer look at these fish. That one that's in the middle there, that is the male. He's got the nice bright colors down his sides. And then that really wide one, the Mummichog, has a very wide head, which makes that easy to identify. Okay, so 3 to 5 inches long. Lots of things like to eat them. When they're small, they're eaten by lots of things as well. The babies are eaten. Now I have some others in the tank here. You can see there is definitely a Mummichog there. Here, I'm going to turn the camera around so that I can point these out to you. All right. So those are some killies. There's some banded killies in the back. There's one Mummichog, 2 Mummichogs in the back. That really wide one, you can notice the wider head in the back. Okay, now, because these fish are small, they have to have a very unique defense method. It's not unique amongst fish, but it's unique to other animals. They do something called shoaling, okay? Most of you have probably heard of fish schooling. Oh, you can see our eel is moving around in its cave right there. So fish school or shoal. The difference between schooling and shoaling. Schooling is when fish swim in unison, all in together. They stay in a nice pattern. Shoaling is when they just gather together in a large group. Shoaling is great for defense because when something comes to try and eat them, not all of them are going to get eaten. Okay? Schooling has the same effect, but schooling, again, they're moving all together, and they can appear as one big, larger fish sometimes. Shoaling is a little bit different. It's also easier for them to find mates when they are shoaling, because they're all together, they're in a nice big group. You don't have to go out and search. The boys don't have to search for girls, and the girls don't have to search for boys when they're shoaling. So these fish are considered shoalers. They do not swim in that pattern like you see. Sometimes birds do it in their big flocks. Okay, so let's look and see if we've got any questions. Looks like somebody's watching from Vermont. Do you guys have snow up there in Vermont? I know there was some snow the other day. We got a lot of rain. All right, we're gonna turn this around and put the camera back so you can look at these guys in the tank. This tank. And okay. Now these fish are going to be, again, in salt marshes. They're found all the way over to the Great Lakes, so they're in the northeastern United States. They're all through New York, Pennsylvania, They go up. I'm not sure if you guys have them up in Vermont or not. That would be a good thing to look up, whether they're found that far up. Sam is wondering, how old do they get? They will only live a maximum of 3 years. So they're small fish, they don't live very long, and they can get to that 3 inches in the first year. Some of them will get up to 5 inches. So very good question, Sam. Again, the Mummichog is the one with a very wide head, this one right here. And they don't usually have stripes, either bands or horizontal stripes, like the striped killies and the banded killies. The most common one that we have here at Hammonasset is the banded killifish. And they're the ones with the stripes this way. Both the males and females have the stripes, but the males have this nice color. It even has a spot on the back of its fin. You can tell them apart by counting the rays in the fins. Now, we've talked about fish have spines. They're called rays in their fins, and you can count the number of those to identify different animals. So these can be identified. They each have a different number of rays or a different shaped fin. One thing that these fish don't have, that many fish do, is a lateral line. Now, that lateral line, we talked about it. If you go back and look at our striped bass video, you'll learn about the lateral line. These fish don't have a lateral line. They do have scales along their side that they can sense sounds and vibrations with, but it's not a lateral line like the striped bass gets. So that's something really special about the killifish. Now, I hope that everybody is learning something new each day that we do this. We're going to keep on doing it. I have a whole list of programs, but I'm looking for new ideas. So if you can think of something that you would really like to learn about, please message us on Facebook or on our website. There's a Contact Us section. You can send us a suggestion, a question, anything like that. You can also put up your pictures that you've drawn or taken. You can send them to us and we'll put them in our virtual learning center. I've got some really great pictures that kids have drawn of some of the animals that we've done. So I love to see that. I have to give a shout out to the Friends of Hammonasset. They're the ones that are allowing us to do these programs. The Nature Center is closed, so we're not getting the donations that we would normally be getting, but our Friends group is footing the bill for feeding all these animals. So if you want to support the Friends of Hammonasset, you can go onto their website and make a donation. Tell them that you're helping out feeding the animals, because it's a really great thing that they're doing. Normally we would be getting lots of donations from people visiting, and that's what feeds our animals. So obviously we're not getting any visitors right now. Again, visit our virtual learning center. There's plenty of information up there. We're adding more vocabulary words every day. I think we're a little bit behind, but we're getting them up there, and we're getting lots of other content as well. So I really thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you continue to like us and follow us. That will tell your friends that you found something interesting. Tell your friends. Actually, everybody should give your friends a call. This is a really tough time for everybody. So I'm going to ask you all to reach out to somebody that you know that you haven't talked to in a week or so. Make sure they're okay. Find out if they need anything. Maybe you've got some extra things that you can share with them. But we are all in this together. If you reach out, you can share. We're all connected. This will add a connection. You can at least talk to your friends. You don't have to see them in person. Maybe you could FaceTime them or do a Zoom meeting, or I don't know, something like that. But please look out for one another. Come back at 2 o'clock this afternoon. We're going to be doing another program at 2 o'clock. So I will see everybody at 2 o'clock this afternoon. I think we're going to go out and do a walk through the woods or something, see what we can find here at Hammonasset. So we will see you then.